Hi everyone, I'm Sulabh and I'm excited to share my social media campaign proposal as a part of my assignment. The campaign title is #JusticeBeyondICE, reforming US Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency through digital advocacy. First of all, I'd like to start by explaining the problem and the need for the campaign. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency ICE operates the world's largest detention service, but yet it has always been criticized for its harsh policies regarding detention, deportation, and exploitation of human rights. With Donald Trump being re-elected as the president, he plans to launch the largest mass deportation, aiming to use military to deport over 20 million immigrants, separating millions of families. The harsh process has already been started, and few Brazilian immigrants that have been reported recently have reported that they were handcuffed, ankle shackled, and were denied a basic needs like water and washroom. This cruel and inhumane practice tells us that the immigration system of the United States needs to be reformed. Campaigns need to be conducted and voices need to be raised. But this is not the first time that it has happened. Uh, Campaigns like #AbolisICE and Free Them All were the previous campaign around this issue. Talking about #AbolisICE campaign, it was a campaign that gained momentum in 2018 where the Trump administration adopted a zero tolerance policies, deporting thousands of people and separating hundreds of families at the Mexican border. After the incident, it created a mainstream buzz and people regarding activists, politicians, and regular people posted on social media sharing stories, lived experiences, and called for the action. It was a moment for solidarity. It was a moment for visibility. Likewise, the another movement is #FreeTheMAll campaign. It was conducted during the global COVID-19 pandemic as thousands of undocumented immigrants were detained at ICE detention centers with an increased risk of COVID-19. An article by Woods in 2024 reported that the risk of COVID-19 in 2021 was 13.4 times higher in detainees than the average US population. The movement protested the release of detainees, individuals viewing their detention as the outcome of systematic racism. While the campaign was focused on the issue of COVID-19 pandemic, it also exposed the harsh condition of ICE detention centers. Both of the movements gained momentum, however, there were also challenges in the movements. With social media acting as a double-edged sword, misinformation was spread from the resisting parties, and there was a fear that ending ICE will create open border chaos and race division. This tells us that the immigration system needs to be reformed, not superficially, but fundamentally and genuinely. That's why we have started #JusticeBeyondICE campaign. It is a new campaign that will be built on the basis of earlier work, but it will also take one step further. Our long-term goal for the campaign is an immigration system that is human, accountable, and right respecting within the borders of the United States. We're not calling for the ending ICE, but we are asking for actual policy reforms that include community-based alternatives instead of detention, access for legal representation, accountability through the use of body cameras on ICE officers, and human rights safeguards independent of the immigration status. The slogan of the campaign will be simple but effective, that is, justice through reform. We must shift the debate from fear and misinformation and towards real solutions that bring both human dignity as well as national security. So, who will be addressed in the campaign? The main target of the campaign will be the young adults from age 10 to 30 who are already involved in social cause online. We also target immigrant communities, policymakers, lawyers, educators, social workers, and ICE professionals working with the department. We will utilize the social media platforms in order to connect with them. Social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. Specifically, Instagram and Facebook will be used for posting reels and lived experiences, personal stories that bring empathy and awareness. TikTok will be ideal for short videos, informative videos. X will enable us to be a part of trending discussions and advocate for the cause through threads and retweets. Likewise, LinkedIn will be used to engage with professionals and policymakers as well as to share the peer-reviewed articles in journals regarding the issue. To further strengthen the campaign, we will also partner with organizations that are already working and making a difference, including RISES, United We Dream, and Detention Watch Network. With the collaboration, we believe that the campaign will easily reach to a mass audience. The campaign will officially be initiated in World Refugee Day, that is 20th of June 2025. On that day, there will be a virtual rally where there will be advocates, survivors, as well as the speakers sharing their experiences. The campaign will apply weekly themes. Each week we will highlight a new theme. For the first week, we plan to highlight the emotional stories of family separation. On the second week, we will plan to highlight the corruption and lack of accountability of the private companies owning detention centers. The further week will highlight and advocate for solutions, including community-based alternatives to detention, accountability through transparency of private prison companies, use of body cameras and ICE professionals. One of the main highlight of the campaign will be a series of episode of videos. Title is Under the ICE Uniform, where not only detainees will be interviewed but also the ICE professionals will be interviewed to know about their experience and examine the pressure that they are under and highlight the oppressive system that has created pressure and oppression on the detainees as well as the ICE officers. Likewise, the main event of the campaign will be a digital petition aiming to collect over a million signatures of the participants, along with suggestions regarding reforming the immigration system, which will be later sent to Congress and executive branch for the reformative proposal. To measure the campaign success quantitatively as well as qualitatively, we will be tracking post views, use of the hashtags, sign up for petitions, and download a policy brief. In addition, we'll seek input from social workers as well as policymakers to refine our approach and messaging. Simply putting justice.